All right, Marcel, I think we are live. Hello, everyone. I am an American sitting
Great.
in Russia, and I am here with a guest. Our guest is Canadian, believe it or not. He is a foreigner who has been living on the border for several years now between Russia and Ukraine. He also has military experience. And this video, we want to find out from him what life is like on the border for him, what life is like for some people living on the border. And we also want to get his military assessment of the situation. Marcel, is there anything intriguing you'd like to tell us before we get started?
My name's Marcel. I'm from Canada, and as Joseph said, we met about a year ago. I'm ex-military. I'm living in the Bryansk region, which is a border region with the Ukrainian territory. And I've been living in Russia for about 3 years. I've served in the military from 2001 to 2014 as a healthcare administrator, captain. And so I have experience in the health side of military operations, experience in terms of Army, Air Force, and Navy in Canada. And I have a Russian wife, and that's why I'm living in Russia now. I left the military in 2014. I worked for the government of Canada as a hospital administrator, where I managed a hospital for Indigenous people till about 2022, where I moved to Russia. It's been a dream for me to actually come and join my wife's family here in Russia. And we are living in interesting times and picked an interesting time to come and live in Russia.
All right.
So that's a little bit about me.
Very good. So guys, his channel is linked in the title in the description. Be sure you're subscribed. Share this with your friends, and we'll get started in just a minute now. Alrighty, so Marcel, again, thank you for joining. Guys, I'm watching for the questions as they come in, and I'm going to ask him some of my own questions so we can quickly get an idea of what life is like on the border and also get his military opinion on what is going on. But like I said, subscribe to his channel and mine, and once we wind down with our questions, I'm going to turn to yours, and you can ask us live what you want to ask so we can find out from him what things are like. And to start off the show, I thought it would be interesting because Marcel and I actually met in person almost a year ago, and I have a clip of that so you can see that and see what his city looks like right now. Oh, how's it going, man? Good to meet you in person.
Joseph. I don't know if you're part of it or not. I haven't heard of it much.
So this is Marcel. He is a Canadian that lives in this town. So Marcel, tell us about this place.
Hello, my name is Marcel, of course. I'm from Canada, living in the Bryansk region. This is Bryansk City, and I've been living here for about 3 years now.
Why'd you move here?
Well, my wife is originally from here, so we wanted to come back and look after her dad and take care of family. So that was the main motivation, and I was always planning to come to Russia for about 10 years. So let's just say the stars lined up, and it all fell into place, and had planned it, like I said, for some time. So we're in the Bryansk region because of her family, but as well, you're in partisan country here. It's a place with lots of forests and lots of rivers and swamps and interesting lakes.
Now, when things got more intense because of the SMO and your proximity to the border, did you guys consider moving away?
No, I didn't consider moving away. In as much as like I have, a dacha to go to when we're in the city. I have an apartment in the city. They were attacking quite intensely during the January, February period. It was quite intense attacks, but not many got through. And if they did, they were just usually diverted off course. Yeah, I mean, it does make your blood pressure rise when there's notices of rockets and drones, but...
So for people like me who don't know, what's to stop people who live here from being concerned about maybe like Kursk Part 2 happening here?
Sure. Kursk operation was very politically motivated to get the grandiose headlines, I guess, to play a political card. And it was rather unsuccessful. It didn't penetrate that deep into the territory. Although it did do a tremendous amount of damage and disrupted quite a few people's lives. They were still, within the 20-30 kilometer region of the border. And we were potentially going to have to anticipate some kind of incursion into this region, and there has been attempts, but they were stopped.
And you've seen drones yourself? Here?
I've definitely heard drones overhead. In the evening, you'll hear them sometimes, or at the cottage. I mean, I've heard them within the city limits as well.
What does it sound like?
It depends what kind of drones. I mean, you have the ones that sound like a flying lawnmower. Those are the ones that we saw in the country. And the ones in the city, we didn't really hear them. What you would hear is the kinetic detonation of it being intercepted. So you didn't even understand if it was a rocket or if it was a fast-flying drone. When I first got to Russia in 2022, which was April, it hadn't been that long, and there was already some kinetic actions from the conflict started then. So, but I guess you get used to the environment you're in.
Alrighty. So, Marcel, I want to say you have been a great resource to me because I am mostly in Moscow. You are on the border. And so you have been able to see firsthand drones that have landed and things of that nature. And I've been able to use the clips that you have made for your show on my show to interview different important people, alt media guys that are famous in the alternative media world. So I want to say I appreciate that for sure. It's been a year since that clip. So tell us what has been going on. How have things changed? What have been the significant moments that you've experienced that you would like to relay to this international audience that's listening to you now?
Oh, thank you. No, I appreciate it. I think it was timely that we met. We'll be able to report what's going on more and more in this region. Right. Basically, we initially had lots of incursions of drones. Like I said, some of the flying kind of lawnmower sounding drones. That escalated to the ATACMS rockets, and that's basically where we had you come as a guest and see this ATACMS up front, which was an ATACMS rocket that was point of origin out of South Korea, I believe that the investigations had pointed to, and they were wound up being transferred to Ukrainian hands and then launched into the region here.
Right.
As well as that warfare developing where we've seen attacks of Neptune rockets that have struck like bell towers in some of the border region churches and some of the towns that are very difficult to pronounce. I won't even attempt to pronounce it at this point, but we definitely have pictures, I think, of that church that the bell tower was attacked, and there was definitely terrorist attacks that occurred where bridges were dropped. So, yeah. As well as the assassination attempt on Putin, I was just standing outside my dacha when I could see those particular drones fly overhead that day.
Really? So what were you saying in regards to the projectiles that went towards Putin's home?
Well, on that particular day, I was outside working at my dacha, and I could see that those drones, I saw specifically one of those drones heading towards that region, and they were flying low. So they were easy to spot. And that's probably the closest visual contact I came to a drone, actually.
Wow.
And it was a wing drone, right? Like pretty big wings on it. And so it was pretty easy to see, pretty easy to hear. And you could see it make its way. I mean, and you think, wow, that's got to be easy to hit, right? But they're flying low. So I guess if they saturate the air, then it's more difficult to knock them all down. My understanding is they did knock them all down. As they got closer to the target. But yeah, that's what I've experienced many times, drones overhead, as well as, hearing military operations and the guys doing a good job of knocking down drones. And, you can almost hear the difference of a drone that's knocked down successfully because of the concussion that it offers. And I believe I've left you an audio clip of one.
Yeah. Let me play that now. So here's a sound of a drone that he sent us. So what did we hear there, Marcel?
So that was probably a propeller type drone that was knocked out. And I guess depending on the overcast, sometimes when there's an overcast, it sounds a lot more menacing because the repercussion and the sound waves travel and between buildings off the earth. And but yeah, I mean, today alone we tried to do this perhaps live stream from my cottage, and the data from mobile connectivity is difficult, and we're even experiencing a little bit of difficulty today, where we're on Wi-Fi within an apartment, and that is because sometimes some of these technologies are, and I'm only guessing that they're using the location of data to find targets, and so sometimes I think data gets interrupted on purpose for military reasons using electronic warfare means.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So for safety, the government might have to turn off the internet, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Exactly. Right. And a lot of times it's being throttled back for operational reasons, and that's understandable. Specifically, like times of days, there'll be changes in the ability to use internet, and where it's not going to affect the economy so much, it might be really throttled back so that it minimizes the intelligence forces that are trying to attack in this region, to deny them access to information.
So when
hence
you and
the
I
world we
spoke
live in.
last year, you had only heard the drones, but now you have seen one, and it was one of the drones that were headed towards Putin's compound. That is fascinating, very, very interesting, and scary. Um, okay. Well, tell us, man, what is the mood of the people living there? What do you want people to know about the border area?
Well, I think morale is definitely difficult for people who live on the border. I mean, first of all, it's not like these drone strikes are happening daily around the city. What they
Hmm.
are is they're usually concentrated all at one time so that it overwhelms the defensive capability. So it's really unpredictable as to um, how much attacks are going to be. And I could say, based on my experience over the last 3 years, a lot of what the Kiev regime have been doing is strikes that are terroristic in nature because they have a political motivation. And so they're not necessarily attacking structures that are military, but sometimes they're just terrorizing civilians. And specifically, like, say, on a holiday, like I've noticed an uptick of attacks on holidays when it's a special occasion.
Hmm. Okay. I mean, how does terrorizing Russian people give the West good headlines?
Well, those stories aren't actually always reported either. I mean, majority of those are not reported. What's reported
Hmm.
is, say, like the dropping of the Bryansk bridge onto a train to stop a train, logistical train supply or something like that. Attacking churches seems to be just antagonistic. A lot of this is just antagonism. Um, you know,
Yeah, and I think,
and I
did you
mean,
send me a
it's
photo
like
of a church that was attacked? Let me
yes, I
see if
did.
I have that. All right, let me pull that up now. Um,
And that specific church was attacked by Neptune rocket, which
okay.
we've had Neptune attacks here where I've done videos where I came across all the parts of the Neptune rocket and found parts that were stamped with "Made in Canada," "Made in Malaysia," the United Kingdom stuff was on it. Lots of
Hmm.
countries' parts put together to make those rockets, claiming to be Ukrainian rockets, but the technologies were all of Western origin and across different regions, South Korea, and yeah.
Yeah, so we can see the debris of the church and the broken ceiling there. And I put in the video description here, guys, clips of different videos that I've done where I've used Marcel's clips where he shows the different drones and whatnot and talks about the Neptune rocket. So that is below as well. Um, okay. Well, so do you